Earning more money can make your body feel less safe, not more. Not because it might expose you, because now there is something you could lose. The moment income rises, your nervous system stops relaxing and starts guarding. You feel tighter, more alert, less free. More money does not register as security. It registers as a position you could fall from. Losing it would hurt more than never having it. That threat arrives before thought. Picture standing on higher ground while your body keeps looking down. You are not enjoying the view. You are bracing for the drop. So instead of relief, you feel vigilance. Instead of ease, you feel control. The fear is not going back to nothing. The fear is losing what finally made things feel tolerable. When income rises and your body tightens, it is not a mistake. It is a signal. The pressure you feel is not about earning more. It is about having more to lose. The nervous system does not experience money as comfort first. It experiences it as exposure to reversal. More income raises the floor you stand on. Falling from that floor would hurt more than before. The body notices this immediately, before plans, before logic, before relief has time to land. That is why financial pressure can increase even as circumstances improve. Bills ease, but vigilance grows. Options expand, but tension sharpens. You are not calmer, you are more alert. Your system is tracking downside, not upside. It is asking how fast things could change, how quickly stability could disappear. That question creates pressure without a clear source. You feel it as tightness in the chest, as caution in decisions, as a need to control outcomes that once felt flexible. The signal appears most clearly when income still feels new, when it has not settled into identity. You do not trust it yet. You treat it as temporary even when nothing suggests it is. The body prepares for loss by staying awake. It scans for signs of slippage. Not because danger is present, because something now matters. Pressure here is not telling you to stop, it's warning you that the ground feels higher and therefore harder to fall from. The nervous system prefers predictable scarcity over unpredictable gain. Scarcity hurts slowly, loss hurts all at once. That difference matters to a system built to avoid sharp drops. So when earning more makes you tense instead of calm, the signal is active. It is not fear of success, it is fear of losing ground you now depend on. Long before earning more felt risky, your system learned what loss felt like. As a child, you watched what happened when money shifted suddenly. Relief never settled fully. Calm always carried an edge. Good periods were followed by tension. Something always waited on the other side. That pattern taught your body a rule. When things improve, prepare for reversal. You learned this without explanation. You watched adults relax briefly, then tighten again. You noticed how good news was monitored instead of enjoyed, how spending came with hesitation, how comfort felt temporary even when nothing was wrong. Money was not framed as safety, it was framed as something that could vanish. That lesson landed early. If your environment moved between okay and not okay, your body adapted fast. It learned not to trust improvement. It learned that gain invites vigilance. Stability became something to manage, not something to rest inside. Even during good stretches, alertness stayed online. The body stayed ready. This conditioning links earning more with danger rather than relief. More income meant more attachment. More attachment meant a sharper loss later. So safety was found not in having more, but in expecting less. Expecting less softened the drop. Disappointment hurt less than surprise. As an adult, this pattern continues without announcement. When income rises, the old rule activates. Do not relax, do not rely on this, do not let your baseline move too high. The body tightens to reduce future pain. This is not pessimism, it is prevention shaped by early exposure to instability. This is also where mistrust of ease forms. Calm feels suspicious, comfort feels temporary, enjoyment feels premature. The system learned that the worst moment often followed improvement, so it braces in advance. Your nervous system does not respond to income the way logic expects. It does not calculate averages or trends. It reacts to the possibility of loss. When income rises, the system does not feel safer, it feels exposed to a sharper fall. More ground beneath you means more distance to drop. That awareness activates immediately. The body treats loss as something that happens fast. Scarcity can be endured. Loss feels sudden, so the system prioritizes avoiding drops over enjoying gains. When income increases, vigilance turns on. Muscles stay slightly tense, attention narrows. You become careful in places that used to feel neutral. This is not anxiety in the dramatic sense, it is preparedness. The nervous system learned that stability can disappear without warning. It does not trust upward movement unless it has been proven over time. Until then, it treats improvement as fragile. That fragility keeps the system alert. You feel guarded instead of grateful, controlled instead of relaxed. The baseline shifts upward, but the sense of control does not. The body keeps asking what would happen if this ended, how painful the return would be. That imagined loss feels more real than the present gain. So the system clamps down. It monitors spending, it monitors effort, it monitors risk. Not to sabotage you, to prevent a fall it remembers too well. Falling from higher hurts more. That is the calculation it runs. As earning more, another tension appears beneath the fear of loss. Earning more quietly threatens the identity you learn to protect. Every environment teaches you who you are allowed to be: careful, responsible, grounded, someone who doesn't tempt fate. That identity formed around survival, not expansion. When money increases, that identity comes under pressure. You are no longer just maintaining, you're advancing. Advancement raises expectations, even if no one voices them. Losing money now would not just hurt financially, it would damage the version of you that proved it could stay afloat. This creates a loyalty conflict. Part of you wants the increase, another part wants to protect the identity built around restraint. Earning more risks lifting your baseline beyond what that identity knows how to defend. If it collapses, the loss would feel personal, embarrassing. So caution starts to feel virtuous. Control starts to feel like wisdom. You tell yourself you're being responsible, but underneath is allegiance to a version of you that survived by staying careful. That version does not trust comfort. It trusts vigilance. Enjoying more starts to feel like tempting fate. The identity that once kept you safe now resists growth, not because it rejects success, because it fears the shame of losing it. Several mechanisms make this sense of unsafety stick. Loss aversion weighs potential loss heavier than present comfort. Present bias favors immediate stability over future security. Guilt conditioning makes relying on money feel dangerous. Money dysmorphia exaggerates fragility and underestimates stability. Identity-based income ceilings formalize the response. You sense a level that feels safe to hold without humiliation if it disappears. Beyond that level, enjoyment drops and monitoring increases. These mechanisms don't argue, they stack. Together, they turn growth into something that must be managed instead of lived. As these forces stack, behavior tightens. You don't stop earning, you stop trusting what you earn. You treat income as provisional, you hesitate to raise your baseline, you avoid commitments that assume continuity, you keep exits open. Each act of restraint brings relief. That relief teaches the system that vigilance works. Behavior organizes around what feels survivable to lose. You gravitate toward income ranges that wouldn't devastate you if they vanished. This is emotional arithmetic. How much pain could I absorb if this collapsed? That answer becomes the limit. Over time, the pattern blends into identity. You call it being grounded, being smart. What is really happening is containment. The system minimizes exposure to loss rather than expanding tolerance for gain. Eventually, the system stops sounding alarms. It doesn't need to. You've adjusted. You live inside a range that feels survivable to lose. You trust your caution, you trust your restraint. But underneath that calm is a quiet truth. Your income did not stop where your capacity stopped.
It stopped where loss would feel unbearable. The ceiling is not built from fear of effort, it is built from fear of reversal, from how painful it would be to fall back once you've tasted relief. The system is not trying to punish you, it is trying to spare you. It learned that loss hurts more than lack, so it keeps you close to the ground, high enough to function, low enough to survive a drop. The question is not how much you want, the question is how much loss your body is still organizing your life around.